Hey guys, I thought I'd do another live stream as we're in lockdown. I'm trying to do as many of these live streams as I can because at the moment, um, with the situation, the fact that I'm not working at the moment, it gives me some more time to do these live streams, which I guess is a positive thing, and share some advice. I've been getting so many questions and emails throughout this whole lockdown COVID-19 from guys from all around the world asking me how to overcome their anxiety, their fear, their shyness, their social awkwardness, their fears of rejection, in regards to talking to women, right? Most of these guys want to get a real relationship, right? Which is great. That's what I like helping and teaching people with, and I've got a hell of a lot of experience, as some of you know. And for those of you that don't know, well, I guess you're gonna find that out quite soon. So I hope everyone's doing well. I will repeat myself again. I know it's a difficult time. It's difficult for all of us, especially for us that have been affected in many areas, like our work. We can't work, or we can't date. We can't socialize much if you're living on your own, like I live on my own. But hopefully, if you come on my live streams, it will give you some confidence, hope, some good social skills, and it will give you that motivation to get you through these difficult times. And you can meet really nice people on these streams. Most of the guys who come on, 99% are really good guys, nice people. And I will answer some questions today. And I am going to do a whole series of dating videos. I've decided. I'll be honest, I wasn't going to really do any more videos on dating for the reason I did it for so many years and I loved it, and then I got bored of it. I guess I don't know if I got bored of it, but I just grew out of it. Um, I'm on a journey with my life as well, and I'm someone that's always growing and trying to improve and changing, and so I am grateful for the support that I've always got over the years from the dating coaching and the relationship coaching that I've done. I really appreciate it, but at the same time, I'm the sort of person that I'll follow what I think's right for me. I won't just do things because people ask me to, or to get popular, to get likes and subscribers, or just to make money. I'm not really that kind of person. But I have got inspired in the last couple of months because I do realize that it is hard if you're single and you want a relationship, but you haven't got the confidence. So I can explain that and share. So today we're going to be speaking about how to get out of your head. It's good to see you. I've got five on it, and it's good to see you, my friend from Turkey. I'm going to be helping you with getting out of your head, so you can be yourself when you speak to women. And it's important to have respect for women. That's one of the values that I teach. And I'll make a point of saying again, I don't teach the pickup stuff. I'm not interested in that. I don't believe in using pickup lines to build relationships with women. I don't believe in tricking women or manipulating. So if you're interested in that stuff, you've come to the wrong YouTube channel. I'm the wrong person. That's not that's not what I taught back then, and that's not what I teach now. Good to see you, Shane. My philosophy is it's all about honesty, self-confidence, respecting women, respecting yourself, and being yourself when you talk to women, not trying to be somebody you've seen on the internet, or not trying to come up with fancy lines. So we're going to get into a lot of stuff today. It's going to be interesting, and I made a video today, and it reminded me of how much experience I've got to share with people that can help them. And over the years, I've helped so many guys to get into relationships and get over their anxiety, because it is a horrible thing when you are so anxious and you don't have any confidence, and you can't say hello to a girl, you can't communicate, and you end up missing out on a relationship. So get your questions in. I'll answer the questions as best as I can, and I'll get into it. So hit that like button if you're enjoying this, and as I said, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I am going to be doing a lot of videos on dating. I also do videos on fear, anxiety, social anxiety, that kind of stuff. So in regards to being in your head and getting out of that place, it all really starts off with a decision. You know, you've got to make a decision that you want to face your fears. It comes down to fear at the end of the day. It's breaking out of that, and it's a choice that you've got to make. And unfortunately, no one can do that for you. You know, I can help you, I can encourage you, I can motivate you, but the decision lies with you. So making a decision, that you're going to speak to a girl or a woman in whatever situation you find yourself in. I mean, obviously, at the moment, if you're living in England, London, then obviously we can't speak to people at the moment with the rules, but you know, hopefully this virus is going to end at some point, and what I'm sharing with you today, you can apply in the future, because it's these are social skills that are, you know, they don't go out of date. Basically, they really do work. So getting out your head is it requires courage, and it requires some basic, you know, level of social skills. I think the mistake that a lot of men make is they think in their head that they've got to come up with something really, really outlandish to impress a woman. You know, they have to come up with something that is almost poetic or philosophical or really, really, um, you know, exaggerated. And the real truth is that will just get you nowhere. The reality is it's all about simple things, being simple, being yourself. Think about it. When you're around your family or close friends or work colleagues, or if you're at university, around people you know, you don't start acting strange and using lines and, you know, rehearsing. You can't rehearse lines to meet a woman. You've got to learn to be genuine. And if you're going to be genuine, you've got to learn to be spontaneous. So one of the best conversation starters, in regards to getting out of your head and speaking to a woman, is to say hello. I'm sure all of you can say that, right? It doesn't take long. But the challenge is, you know, pushing yourself to say hello to a girl or a woman that you're interested in or attracted to. In any social situation, by the way, we're not going to limit it to, oh, is it in a coffee shop? Can I? No, anywhere, pretty much anywhere, you know, where there are other human beings. So learning to say simple things which don't require a lot of effort or thought is really going to help you to get out of your head, and you know, get you more relaxed and more present. And it's obviously going to give you the success that you want with women. So obviously now we've got to talk about, obviously confidence is important. If you're not positive, if you're not projecting your voice, if you're like that and down, and you go up to a girl and say hello, hi, yeah, hello, yeah, it's not going to work, because it's negative. It's not engaging. The energy's not right. So of course, within saying hello, you want to say it with enthusiasm. But like I said again, you can't fake. You have to really, you know, be genuine. So when you say hello, most of the times women will respond positively. So once you can say hello, obviously a woman's going to respond. If you say hello, she's probably going to go like, hi, or hi, what is it you want? Then you can move on to a next simple thing, which could be to be honest and say, hello, I thought you looked nice, or hello, you look like a nice person, and you know, where are you from? You know, you can say hello. It's number one. You can give a compliment, which is number two, and then you can ask a woman where's she from. And it's learning these basic, simple things that pretty much everyone does throughout their life in their, you know, social interactions. But it's just learning to be natural with women, and yourself, and relaxed. And it's actually not trying to be something that you're not. Not trying to make, you know, to be the funny guy. I mean, yes, it's good to if you can make a girl laugh, but if you overdo it, then you're going to come across strange, because you're trying to be something that you're not. So you really want to keep it simple. Simplicity is the key. Now, if you've got respect for women, which is important, and when you're talking to a woman in any situation, if you're respectful, they will like that. They will appreciate that. And it's important to be respectful when you speak to women. I don't agree with a lot of guys you see on the internet who who think it's cool, or they think it's fun, or they think it's you're being cocky to be disrespectful to women. That's just silly. That's just going to get you nowhere. So when you're honest, you haven't really got anything to worry about. You're not hiding anything. You're not doing anything wrong. You're being respectful. And if you're really worried about the reaction, the best advice I can give you is, if you don't get a positive reaction, then still be positive. Just say, okay, that's fine. If you don't want to speak to me, I understand that. I wish you a good day. Have a good day. Goodbye. And that sort of character, that sort of attitude is going to get you success 100% in eventually. And also being positive, a lot of women will respond to you. So it's really about relaxing. The way I'm speaking now, which is normal and relaxed and confident and calm, that's the way I would speak to a girl or a woman in any social situation. I wouldn't try and be louder. I wouldn't jump up and down. I wouldn't say stupid pickup lines. I wouldn't be, rehearsing things. I don't need to do all that. So really, what you're missing is, what you need is, and what everyone can develop is self-confidence, and you gain the confidence through the practice of being honest. So that's how you get out of your that's how you get out of your head, and you start to be able to build good connections with women. And like I said before, most guys take advice from other men who who are not qualified to be given advice, who don't actually know how to talk to women. They haven't had much success, and you can't take advice from someone who hasn't had a relationship or has never really learned how to be confident at speaking to women. You've got to take advice from someone who knows how to do it and who's got a proven track record in their life. So a lot of guys are taking advice from men that are not good with women, that don't know how to speak to women, and that's why they're getting nowhere. And I said in my video earlier on, I done a YouTube video, most of the things that I learned from men didn't help me. There was a poor advice. A lot of the things I learned were actually from women, which was the correct way. So a lot of it is really about you learning to be yourself around women, and be able to just be normal and natural, and not have to try and use tricks and lines. That's where guys go wrong. Their whole thinking's wrong. And the frustrating thing is when guys think they know what they're doing, but they're not getting it right, and they continue, and that's just not how it's going to work. So you really have to learn to be confident in yourself, and anyone can do it. I did it. So if I did it, any of you can do it 100%. Well, that's what I'm saying, Shane, obviously, right? Common sense. I'm not telling anyone at the moment to go out and do this, because the reality is most of us can't do this. But when the COVID is over, which at some point is going to be over, then you can apply the advice. I'd rather give you the advice now, so you've got the experience, you've got the knowledge, as opposed to me not giving it to you and just holding it back. I enjoy sharing it and giving it out to as many guys to help them. Yeah, if you use pickup lines, you're going to ruin your self-esteem. You really don't want to be doing that. You need to learn. Everyone can do it. It's hard at the start, but once you practice it, it's just like anything else. It gets easy. It's just like doing a new job. So you have to be patient with yourself, and put a lot of practice in. And social skills is like going to the gym. If you don't go to the gym for a long time, you're going to get unfit. You're not going to be strong or fit. But if you go regularly, you start to get fitter and your body improves. Exactly the same with social skills. So I would encourage a lot of you, if you want to improve your communication with women, to actually practice speaking more in general with people. It is a skill. It is a social skill. So in order to improve that skill, you've obviously got to be social. So things like live streams, phone calls, events. Obviously once we can get back to normal, So yeah, in hindsight, I'm giving you advice for the future because right now, most of us, obviously, we can't go out and freely speak to women and do dating at the moment because of what's going on. But once it ends, things will get back to normal, and then you can. So that's really important as well. And like I said, you also got to learn to speak quicker. A lot of guys take too long when they're going to speak. They take ages, and that just ruins your chances of building a good connection with a woman. Because as you said, that sometimes you don't have that much time. If you meet someone, or if you're in a party, or you're at an event, or you're in a coffee shop or a library, you don't always have loads of time to go and speak to a woman. So you have to move within that window of opportunity, and that's how you get out of your head. The quicker you speak, the quicker you're going to get out of your head, the quicker you're going to conquer the fear and gain confidence. So it's actually better to see a girl that you like and to say what you feel, obviously respectfully, and say, look, I saw you and I think you look attractive, or you look nice, or you look lovely, or you look like a nice person. And if she's likes the compliment and you feel comfortable and you feel confident, you can say, would you like to come out of me for a coffee, or can I take you out sometime? You ask, and she can only say two things or three things. Yes, you can go out. Here's my number. Or she can say thanks, but no, I've got a boyfriend. Or she could say, no, I don't feel comfortable, and I don't want to give you my number. So that's like the worst case scenario. And I think a lot of guys have this attitude that they can just read a book or watch a couple of YouTube videos, learn some techniques, and then all of a sudden they're never going to have to experience rejection. And that's a load of BS. You have to learn to handle rejection, it's part of life. There's not a single man on this planet, I don't care how much money he's got, how famous he is, it's bollocks. Every single person gets turned down. Johnny Berba got turned down loads. It's going through that makes you stronger. And this is what keeps a lot of guys in their head. They're thinking, when they see a girl they like, they're thinking, what if she rejects me? What if I go over and I make a fool of myself? Or what if I speak to her and then she says she has a boyfriend? Or what if I run out of things to say? Well, these are all normal human fears, right? It doesn't make you strange for having these. No, everyone has these fears, but you have to face them. You have to become fearless and face them. And if you come from a good attitude, I'm sure most of you here have been brought up well by your parents. I'm pretty confident. Let me know in the box below. I'm sure your mum and your dad, I know my parents brought me up to have respect for other people, regardless of who it is, what gender they are, what background. Treat people the way you want to be treated. So if you respect women and you don't listen to a lot of the bad advice that's out on the internet or in the world from men who are telling you otherwise, you're going to be coming from a confident place. And most women will really appreciate and will be very they will appreciate and they will be impressed by a guy who is respectful, especially not to generalize, but let's just say, again, everyone's idea of beauty is different, but let's just say stereotypically a beautiful girl that everyone looks at as getting approached a lot, she will appreciate that if you just treat them normally the same way you treat anyone. So it's really learning to control yourself, and it sounds like a lot of things, but once you learn it, it really isn't. It's just common sense. It's exactly the same as me doing a live stream and talking to you guys. It's the same way that I would speak to a girl. Obviously, I'm not going to ask one of you guys out for a date because obviously I'm straight and I'm into women. But it's the same principle in how you speak. You just get confident and you speak, and you don't have to shout. You don't have to say weird things. You just got to be yourself and be honest and learn basic social skills, which I'm teaching you today, which is how to say hello to someone, how to ask someone where they're from, how to be engaging and interested, how to get to know someone in a very genuine, natural way, and you do that by asking questions. Yeah, that's another important factor. Fine formula is, it's natural for a lot of guys to be outcome dependent. They're going to want a certain outcome before they've even gone and spoke. And that's human nature. Men are like that, women are like that. But you have to learn over time. You have to learn over time to not be a prisoner of your expectations. So, it's only human nature. Obviously, if you see a girl and you like her, you're going to want her to like you. That doesn't make you wrong or bad. That just makes you human. But it's also like my father taught me growing up. You've got to learn to not be desperate. You've got to let go of the outcome. So you've got to say to yourself, look, I like this girl. She's attractive and she looks interesting. I want to go and speak to her. I hope that she likes me back. I hope she responds well. But at the end of the day, if she doesn't, I'm still going to be happy because because at the end of the day, you don't even know her fully yet. All you know is you like how she looks or you like the way she makes you feel, but you still got to get to know her. So you might get to know her and realize actually she's nice looking, she's a nice girl, but I've changed my mind. I don't feel the connection. So it's just letting go of the outcome as best as you can. And that's something that we all practice, but with practice, with the right values, which I believe all you guys have got, which is having respect towards women, which is respecting yourself, which is being who you are, which is being yourself, which is, being, having good manners and showing your personality. It's only a matter of time, and everyone will tell you, right? It's not because a lot of guys will say things to me on my live stream like, "Oh, Johnny, it's easy for women. It's not. It's and that's not actually true. It's not always easy for women as well. I've had enough girlfriends to know this that women have said it can be very hard for them because women have got their own fears. They want to make sure that they pick the right guy. They have the same problem that we do in the sense of wanting to find someone that they love and can feel comfortable with. So it isn't all easy for both. Both have their challenges, men and women. Yeah, there's some advantages being a man, there's some advantages being a woman. That's besides the point. Yeah, showing appreciation is important. So where was I going with this? I'm getting your questions in as well. And that's another thing as well. Like I've said before, unfortunately, There's a lot of men who don't have good experience. They don't have the confidence at the moment with women, and they're giving advice when they're not qualified to be given it. That you can't take advice from someone who is struggling with something that you're struggling with that you want to improve at. You've got to take advice from someone who is good at what they're encouraging you and helping you with, right? So that's important as well to sometimes qualify where you're getting your advice from. Just because it says in a book, or you should act like this with a woman, doesn't mean it's correct because someone wrote a book or someone made a video. Is it aligned with your values? And a lot of the advice in the dating industry when I started out, it didn't suit well with me. And I knew in my own instincts, I'm not going to do this. This is not right. And I followed my own heart and it worked out. So you got to have you got to come from good values, which is important. And a lot of guys make the mistake of thinking they can read a woman's mind when a lot of times you can't. Men will think, oh, this is what a woman is going to how to react to me. This is what she's going to expect. And you can be wrong so many times. The years of teaching that I did, I'd have students who would say, I'm not going to go up and speak to that girl because she's just going to turn me down and think I'm not good enough. And I'd say, well, how do you know that? And he's going to go, because I know she's going to say that. Everyone rejects me. I say, well, why don't you go and try? Why don't you stop? Why don't you be a man, have confidence, have self-belief, be honest, be respectful, go over, enjoy the conversation. He goes over, he gets a completely different outcome. He's shocked. The girl actually likes him. She responds very well to him. He comes back, he says to me, I can't believe that just happened. I said, well, I told you, because your mindset is so negative that you just keep projecting your insecurities onto women, and it's you, it's not them. You've got to fix the way you see yourself and not think what a woman's thinking, when half the time you can't know that. You're just coming from, these are just generalizations that get passed on through culture but a lot of the times these generalizations, when you put them to the test in reality, they can be completely false. So all these things are important. And as I said, it's it's practice. By the way, guys, hit this like button. We've got 20 of you on only 6 likes. I'm giving you some great value today. This is real concrete experience I'll get you good relationships. Um, so that's important. And I think as well, with getting out of your head, it's got to be, you've got to want to get out of your head. You've got to want to get better with people, because getting however we call it, getting confident with women, or getting good with women, or being good at, talking to women, or being good at making a woman feel great and appreciated, it's a social skill. It revolves talking, self-expression, and these are things. Well, it depends in regards to your question. How many times does it take to change our mindset? It can take some time, because people have had a certain mindset maybe for 10, 15 years. So it's going to take a lot of work. You're going to have to train your mind to think in a different way. But the quicker you get started, the quicker you can succeed. So I can't give you an exact time frame. It depends on, whether you get help, a coach, or whether you are with the right friends who are positive, or how quick you start learning. But I believe everyone can do it. Yeah, that's a slightly different matter, Shane, and I appreciate what you're saying, and that shows a lot of honesty on your part. And I like your honesty, that you were honest about, you've got some mental health issues, and a lot of you know that I've got a mental health issue as well. A lot of us have, right? That takes a lot of courage. That you've got to, I already know you're a good person. You've got good values. That's slightly different. What I'm talking about today is not online dating. That's not my expertise. So I'm not going to sit here and start telling everyone how to be good at online dating when it's not my area of expertise. But where I am an expert in is dating in the real world. And all I can do is be honest with you guys about, you know, the success that I achieved over the years and the amount of people that I helped. So I'm not just going, hey everyone, look at me. I've been successful with women, and I can teach you and show you how to do it. I'm also saying I'm a normal guy, came from a bad place, had lots of struggles, had lots of rejections, lots of issues, put a lot of work in, got very confident. Several years ago, did it as a profession, was a professional dating and relationship expert, worked with hundreds of men, and helped them to successfully get into relationships. I can't even give you the number, it's that many. I don't keep, unfortunately, I'm not that meticulous in my life where I don't write down every single person that I've got into a relationship. All I can tell you, it's a hell of a lot. And in the time when I was teaching, right, because I'm speaking from past tense, if that makes sense, because as we stand right now, I'm not teaching. Well, I'm not getting paid at the moment. I'm not working, right? I'm teaching now. This is free. It's a live stream, but I'm speaking from my experience throughout all the years. Loads of guys, I got them over their anxiety and got them dating. And some of the guys I worked with back then had never even been on a date in their life. They'd never had a date, or some of them had never spoken to more than 2 women. And after I helped them and worked with them, they went on several dates, and they got a girlfriend. They just completely transformed. Well, that's a good point, Lesboff. I mean, obviously, in the right context, there's being honest, and there's, obviously having social skills. I'm not saying that you should, you know, walk up to a girl and tell her every single thing about your life. That's going to be a bit strange, right? Now, I don't have to come on today and tell you guys that I went to the toilet and I took a number two. I don't think you guys really want to know that. Now, you guys do that as well. We all go to the toilet, right? but we don't have to announce it. It's not appropriate to say that publicly, right? So yes, there are certain things that you don't have to tell, but generally, within the right context, I stand by it. You should be honest when you speak to women, unless you want to build bad relationships. Then obviously that's your choice, right? All of you adults, you've got your own mind, right? Fletcher, I would say yes. And again, the problem with sometimes is people ask questions, right? The way that people ask questions is in a very kind of generalization way. So they will say, do you think women would like to be approached in a coffee shop? And people will give their answer based on what they think. But the reality is, everyone's different. So not every single woman's the same. You can't generalize. So there's a lot of women that would love to be approached in Starbucks, especially if they liked you and you did it right. But of course, there's going to be a vast amount of women who wouldn't want to be approached. And that's just the way life is. There's a lot of people who like my live streams, and there's a lot of people that wouldn't like it. They wouldn't, so you have to be open-minded in the sense that you can't have these fixed ideas about what every woman would want, when you haven't even gone and tried. So I always say this to people, and I always said it. When you're telling me what you think, right, or your own theories or philosophies on women, is it coming from real experience where you've gone and spoke to women? If it's not, then it doesn't have a leg to stand on, because you're just telling me something that you think, but you haven't actually gone and experienced in reality. So I'll give you an analogy. It's a bit like someone saying, well, this is the way you should do a live stream, and it should be done that way. And I would say to that person, how many live streams have you actually done? And that person might go, none. Well, then you've got no leg to stand on. You're speaking from theory and not speaking from real experience, real practical experience. So my encouragement to the world was always, you've got to go and face your fears, and you've got to see for yourself, because many things that people said to me that I couldn't do and that wouldn't work, they were wrong. I had many people say that my approach to dating wouldn't work, but then I became one of the most known dating experts in the world. I was very successful. I built a whole business on my philosophy and helped a lot of people, and made a living. And been renowned, been on many interviews, shows, and it's not showing off. I'm just telling the truth, because I didn't listen to negative people. I went out and figured it out for myself. So you got to figure it out for yourself. But if you're someone who wants to be authentic and genuine, then you will resonate with what I'm saying. And if you don't, then that's obviously your choice. You will go elsewhere. Yeah, that's a good question, Shane. They're two kind of different things. So there is a correlation between attracting a woman but keeping her attracted. And I would say the first part is the initial attraction, where obviously you attract someone to you. But the second stage is a bit more advanced, and that's where relationship skills come in. In order to keep a woman attracted to you long term, that is a different set of skills, and that is a set of skills that I have and that I can teach. But I will do that in another live stream, because that's a separate matter. That's going to take a lot of time to explain. Today we're focusing on the start, the basics, where most guys struggle with, which is the conversation, the initiation, how to ask women out, how to say hello. Now, if I was to ask you a question, and it's just trying to get some information to help you, could all of you answer this question? Do you have the confidence to be able to say hello to a woman, in a social situation, and just go and say hello and introduce yourself? And because if you do, then that's great. You're a bit further ahead, and if you don't, it's still fine, because you can learn. Hi to you. So that's the problem today. The biggest generational problem that men have is they think they know how to attract women and talk, but the reality is, and it can be a hard truth, is that they don't. Because if you did know, you wouldn't have been struggling for so long. So the fact that you don't know, you should be open to learn from someone who does know, and then you will know. You'll be a person who, you'll be able to give the advice to someone. But yeah, there's no point pretending that you know something when you don't. It's better to be honest and just say, you know what, I actually don't know this subject. I have got ideas about it, but I don't actually know. And then you can learn. That's how I learned when I started. I thought I knew. I didn't know shit about it. I didn't. I thought I knew. I had no confidence. I was insecure. I didn't know how to speak to women. I didn't know how to get a girlfriend or ask someone out. So I had to learn. I learned from people who did know and who could help me, and I took their advice. Um, and I also figured it out for myself. Yeah, yeah, that's honest of you, and that's another part of learning, which is learning to stay calm, and control your anxiety, and be able to speak, and not get freeze up, and get overwhelmed. That's it, Fletcher. Yeah, you've got to take that leap of faith. You've got to introduce yourself. So it's basically when you get very good at something, it doesn't look fancy, it doesn't look flash. It's very calm, confident, and normal and natural, and that's how it would look when you get more confident with speaking to women and getting out of your head. It's way easier. Every guy can do it. Every guy's got the ability to do it. It's really just something that it is within you. It is, you're born with it, which is social skills and the ability to communicate. It's just getting past the fears and the anxiety, and really learning to unlearn all of the bad precepts, and conditioned ideas, and judgments, and stereotypical um, generalizations that you've got in your head about women, and what women want, and how they react, and what they don't want. A lot of what you think is not even true in practice, because there's two separate worlds. There's the world of theory and books and ideas, and then there's the world of reality of doing it. Yeah, I've got a favorite aftershave. I can show it to you now, actually. So this is a French one, right? It's called Pasha, or Pasha, Pasha, Pasha de Cartier, and it's a French one. And there we go. I'll spray on a bit for you guys. Smells great. It's got a real how can I describe it? It's strong. It's kind of musty, but it's got a really it just smells classy. It smells French. It's hard to explain. Yeah, it's quite sweet, a little bit musty, and really fresh. It's great. So we recommend that, right? I'm not making commission. Well, my mum got me this for Christmas. I think it's mid-range. It's quite expensive. It's not too expensive, but then you can get a cheap one as well. I use cheap ones as well. I mix things up. So this is this is Ted Baker, but it's a small one. So obviously that's a name brand, but I do. So that's slightly cheaper. That's nice as well. This one is really, this is really sporty. It smells like if you're in a gym. Usually, there's always there's always some guy in the gym within a change room who will spray on something nice and sporty. So this one is quite sporty. This is nice as well. It's not as good as the French one, but it's decent. For me, focusing on I'll type the name in. Hold on. Hold on a second. P.A. Pasha D. Here we go. It's really nice, this one. Then you got another name at the bottom, I think. It was have like a lot of names on E. P. Right. But yeah, the reason why getting out of your head is an important topic, because obviously everyone has really been in their head a lot at the moment because of the lockdown. Obviously, unless you're living in a different part of the world, most of us are not working at the moment. A lot of us are not. I don't know about you guys. Some of you said you weren't. I'm not working at the moment, so there's a lot of time being spent at home because of the rules. So obviously, the bad thing about spending a lot of time on your own is you get in your head. You think a lot about you, um, and that can't really be helped. I mean, you can do some practice and stuff like that, but when we do come out of the lockdown, that's going to be the time when obviously a lot of you, myself included, are going to want to speak to women, and you're going to want to have that confidence so that you can get a relationship and start dating as normal. But let me know in the box, guys, if you're open enough. What is your situation at the moment, so I can focus my videos and my advice specifically for you? Because some of you single and you want to get a girlfriend, or some of you looking forward to getting back to work. Yeah, yeah, it's French, isn't it? And it does look like toilet. That part there, and it probably is. But yeah, my taste of aftershave is very intuitive and quick. I know straight away when I smell it, whether I like it or not. Everyone's different. By the way, actually, it's a good idea when we're on the topic of aftershave, right? And this is not making fun. This is true, right? This is going back to when I was a kid. It's actually really, really great, important to have good aftershave when you're approaching women, because when you smell good, obviously taking a shower is important, and there's lots of shower gels that you can use. Um, but yeah, aftershave makes a difference. Well, that's the thing as well, Lesbos. When you've not been approaching for a long time, and a lot of us haven't, you're not going to lose everything, but you can get rusty again. The anxiety will start coming back, unless you've been doing it a long time, and even then it will still come back. So it's like anything in life, you've got to keep practicing. I'm still learning myself. It's not like the learning has stopped for me. And when you in regards to people, you can always get better with people. You can always improve your conversation. So just came out of a 4-year relationship. I appreciate that you sharing me before the first lockdown. Working from home at the moment, sitting at a desk all day hasn't been a good idea for my back though. Yeah, that's not really your fault though, is it? At the moment, can't really do it. Yeah, yeah, the anxiety will definitely build up. Anxiety has got no it's anxiety is heartless in that sense. It doesn't care for the amount of practice you've done, or who you are, or what you have. It will just start rebuilding itself back up. It happens to me. I mean, I was doing this for years, and there was a point where I started to think, God, I don't have any fear anymore. I can, speak to anyone. I can approach women. But as soon as I had some challenges in my life, and I had the mental health challenges and stuff, and I stopped, and my relationship changed, and I was single again. I stopped going out socializing. My anxiety started to come back really strong, and then obviously I had to go out and work it again. So the positive news is you can always get your anxiety, you can always get over it again. But the negative news is if you stop socializing and talking to women, and you have long periods like we have in isolation at the moment because of the coronavirus, the anxiety will start to surface back. What's up, George? Good to see you. What's up, Samuel Irvin? Yeah, well, there's nothing to be embarrassed of, or there's nothing to be ashamed of. Every single guy on planet Earth is nervous when he talks to girls, and unless he's practiced it and got control over it. So it doesn't make you less. You're normal. Everyone has it. I have it, until you can, learn to control it. So that's one thing that you can understand, which is normal. But yeah, there is something you can do today. See, that's an important thing. It's not focusing on the problem, it's focusing on the solution. And that's what I was sharing today. You can talk all day about the problem, it won't change it, but there's actually a solution to all this. Any guy can do it. That's the great thing. Because I used to be under the belief that I can't do this. This can't be done. It's not possible for me. I don't have the right tools and stuff. And once I overcome that, and I got the confidence and started getting, especially when I got a girlfriend, and when I started teaching, people from all around the world and helping them to get over their fears of, social anxiety with women. I completely, went into a whole different mindset. My mindset was so positive. So then I was like, oh, if I can do it, any other guy can, because I really came from. I was really bad at it. I was very nervous. I was so in my head. I think the best tip when you worry that you don't have nothing to say is to find a topic to talk about, and it doesn't have to be the most exciting thing. Just get talking. So for example, you could always talk to a girl about traveling. You could always ask her where she's traveled to. You can choose subjects where you can't really go wrong. You can't really go wrong with travel. You can't really go wrong with sports. You can't really go wrong with things like movies. You can't really go wrong with music. These are very safe areas of conversations. You can't really go wrong with film things like talking about something or current affairs of social media. These are things that everyone's going to have an interest in. And another tip on that is to ask questions. Is to ask if you don't know, ask. If you don't know something, just say, "Look, what are you interested in?" So getting good at conversation is about you have to want to get to know someone, and questions is the pathway to get there. And once you've been given the answers, then you can learn to build better conversations. So if you want information, you have to ask people. And then if you want to get better at getting, being confident and feeling that you're not speaking something that is not interesting, you've got to learn to listen more. And like you guys said, these are separate matters, but they're important and they're important to you and you can address them. So things like obviously getting a job or getting the right job or getting in shape. Um, like I said, I always try and speak on what I've done in my life, what I've been successful at. Otherwise, I won't speak on it. If it's something that I'm not qualified, I'll just say, well, I'm not an expert on that. Like I said earlier, I'm not an expert on online dating because I've never really did it much, and I'm not been interested in it. But there are people who are. So many years ago, when I wasn't working or struggling to get my ideal job, the way I did that was by facing my fears. Once I faced my fears of talking to women, I had the confidence to go and face my fears of talking to bigger groups of people, men and women. And then I started to have the confidence to do seminars and videos, and then I built a business up. So the same way that you build up the confidence and the courage to speak to women, it's actually the same. It's the same manner in which you go about looking for the right job and stuff. I know they're different subjects, but it's the same principle. You've got to face your fears to start going gym and getting in shape. You've got to walk through your fears to find the right sort of job that you want. But yeah, if you master being able to be confident talking to women, then you'll be able to do the other things a lot easier. But what a lot of people do is it's human nature. And I was thinking about this today. I want to make a video. They separate things. So they go, well, I've gotten over the fear of doing my driving lessons, right, which is great. But I wouldn't be able to overcome the fear of getting my own job, and it's because you tell yourself that. It's because you haven't tried. So don't judge yourself on what you haven't tried yet. If you've tried and you've tried and tried again and it's failed, then I can understand you saying, well, I tried, it didn't work out. Well, then that's another conversation. Then we can say, well, maybe we got to look at your approach. Maybe you have to change your approach in which you tried. What's my take on eye contact here? Well, guessing from the way you've written it, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're probably asking me how do you get over the fear of eye contact? It depends. My take on it, I guess it depends on who I'm looking at. Yeah, I mean, with the awkwardness, again, that's part of social anxiety, which is why I do videos on that, right? And I've had that myself at times. So it's learning to get more comfortable. And I would say you got to practice. Obviously, when we come out of lockdown, George, at the moment, because most of us can't socialize in person, when it does finish, you've got to practice getting more comfortable with eye contact. And it was something that I struggled with as well. It was one of the big things for me, like you, George, with women and people, and I had to practice it and get better with it. But the eye contact's similar to the anxiety. If you stop practicing it for a while, it will become awkward again. It will become a little bit difficult. So you gotta do it regularly, and it will get easier. That's good to know, Shane. Journalism, freelance writing, it's a good area. Poetry, yeah. So yeah, so the only frustrating thing at the moment is obviously that it's a shame at the moment, and it's nobody's fault that you can't go and apply the advice that I'm giving you right now because of the current situation. But I'm hoping it is gonna end in the next couple of months, please God, so we can all get back to normality again and living our lives, and then you can implement these things. But I guess at the moment, all we can do is what we're doing is be patient. For a lot of us who can't work, can't date, can't really socialize, and that's why I chose to do the live stream today, because I thought, what, a lot of people could do with some motivation, someone to talk to, and I've got more time on my hands at the moment, so let's do something positive and have some fun with all this. And that's an important part and thing as well, which I think guys forget, and we all do, is that it doesn't have to be monotonous talking to women. It doesn't have to be horrible and frightening. You can make it fun. You can enjoy it. If you enjoy the process, then the fear just completely goes away. Do you know what I was about to do, guys? You guys are gonna laugh, right? I didn't for 1 second. I was gonna drink my aftershave because I got so thirsty. I got so thirsty from doing all the talking. My mouth gets very dry. I I thought I had my bottle of water with me, and I was about to do that. How crazy would that be if I drunk the aftershave live on a live stream and then I passed out? God, I'll be it'll go viral, won't it? Not for the right reasons. So yeah, never drink aftershave. It wouldn't do you any good. Actually, I've got to get a drink, right? Give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna literally be 5 seconds. I'm gonna be with you, right? You can see the empty chair. I will be back. Let's do this. Oh, we're further away here. That's too far, isn't it? Cheers, Eon. I appreciate it. Yeah, yeah, it's a nice chair. My mum got me this chair. It's a different view. Can you guys still hear me? Yeah, I like the view. It does look better when I'm further away. It looks more. It just looks aesthetically better. But the only thing is, if I'm this far away, I can't respond on the keypad, so I have to bring this further. Oh, but yeah, I'm really proud of my orange chair. I like it. It's different. I wouldn't usually go for orange, but I like just mixing it up. Okay, let's do this. Right, good. All this therapy I'm giving you guys, huh? Man, I'm too good at you guys. No, I'm just kidding, man. I really appreciate all of you. I get a lot out from doing this. So you guys give me an incredible amount of support, and I'm giving you guys confidence. I try to, and you're giving me confidence as well. I do love animals, Shane. I do, and I did want to get a cat, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm legally allowed to have a cat where I'm living. My mum said she doesn't think I could, but I'll have to check with my my landlord and stuff, and it's not a massive place. It's big for me. I love this place, but I don't know if it would be fair to have a cat in here because some of them need a garden, right? Although I've got a rooftop, but I don't know if it's safe out there. So yeah, I do love cats. I've grown up with animals. We had a dog, and then it died, which was sad. And then my parents have got a cat. My nan always had a dog. My auntie had a dog. So yeah, I do like animals. I'm a bit scared of certain dogs though, but I do love cats and some dogs. Yeah, but maybe a cat wouldn't want to be in lockdown now. I'm sure the cats would want some freedom. Yeah, they're lovely. Um, I'd be worried if I had an outdoor cat that it would go out and get hurt or something, or it would fall off. But yeah, any of you animal lovers. Now, let me just make a point of saying, guys, right? I'm analyzing to give you tips. You see the way that we speak when we come on these streams, the way that we get into conversations, and this is the same way that you speak to a woman. This is what I've been trying to explain, and I've been trying to explain this for many years. Like, we started off this conversation talking about what I did, how to get out of your head and speak to women, right? And then, Lesbos asked about the aftershave. Then we went into aftershave, and then a little bit about the furniture in my place. And then one of you asked me a question. Shane asked me a question about animals. So you guys can do this. You've proved it. It's just that you've got to learn to do it, in front of a girl that you're attracted to. So the conversation skills that we're doing, and what I've tried to do lately, right? And you guys have been I don't know if you're aware of it, right? When we do these live streams and I talk to you guys, I hang out and with friends and we have the conversations and I give the advice and help you. I'm practicing social skills with you. This is how you get better. What's up, Mohammed? Johnny, I still struggle with negativity. I understand rules and mathematics. Right now is a weird time. If a girl perceives my approach as hostile or creepy, do you know what it comes back to? It's not listening to those negative thoughts, Mohammed, and you got to realize that everyone gets those thoughts. Every guy gets it, but you've got to override it. And I'm sure you've been brought up by your parents the same way my parents brought me up with good values. Um, no, I don't agree with game. I don't do game, Mohammed. I don't do the pickup stuff. I'm all about honesty when you're talking to women and just being yourself. So if you be honest and you're respectful when you approach women, they won't see you as a hostile, or they won't see you as weird. So it's really getting your mind straight and getting your mind positive, when you talk to someone. And if a girl doesn't want to speak to you, you've got to learn to handle that and not take that personal and not get upset and just say, look, that's fine. If you don't want to speak to me, I respect that. Have a great day. So you're not letting anybody bring you down, because at the end of the day, look, we're living in the real world, and not everybody is going to want to speak to you. But that doesn't mean everybody does want to talk to you. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to speak to you and build and be friends. So it's very similar, the rules in how you talk to people, in how you make friends, in how you get on better at work or uni. A lot of these things are the same, that you just got to kind of adjust them. But what happens to a lot of guys is when they're talking to a girl that they think's attractive or pretty, they get nervous and they panic, and they almost malfunction. They can't be themselves. They can't just get a grip of the anxiety, which is human. Just kind of control yourself and then push through it and just relax and speak. That's it. Sorry, I was just reading that, Owen. The right one. I just must jump off on your how to quit videos, Johnny. Are you referring to the videos that I do on how to quit porn? Yeah, speed dating's good, Shane. I recommend it. I definitely would do it myself again. I'm sure there's going to be a lot. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of speed dating events on when we come out of lockdown. And I know there's a group called Meetup.com, and they do a lot of dating events. They used to, so I'm sure they'll be there. My favorite London park is it's got to be Hyde Park and St James's Park, which are separate, but they kind of, yeah, they are separate, but they kind of connect. I have to say Hyde Park, Lesbos, definitely. There's a lot of nice parks in London. Regent's Park's beautiful, but I grew up going to Hyde Park, so I think I'm biased towards Hyde Park because of the nostalgia and the memories. I was with my friend today. He was speaking about a comedian that struggled with porn. Really? Yeah, there's a lot of people that have struggled with it. Quite a few well-known celebrities and stuff have openly spoke about it. Yeah, when it's summer and stuff, the parks are actually great places to meet women and speak to them. I've met quite a lot of quite a few dates I've been on from girls I've met in the park. Good conversations. By the way, guys, I don't know if you've subscribed to the channel or not, but if you haven't, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, I do like Hampstead Heath. It is beautiful, but I still prefer Hyde Park. If you want like a longer day out, then Hampstead is really good because it's so big and vast. And I did go there before we went into lockdown. I was up there. I probably go about twice a year. Uh, don't know if I've been to Chiswick Gardens, Lesbos. I'll have to try that. Is that separate? What's up, Chris? Yeah, I'm glad you saw the boxing videos. Boxing's brilliant. That's something else we can do. So I guess at the moment, everybody's just like looking forward to getting back to normal and doing all the things that we want to do. It's hard, isn't it, guys? It's even difficult for me with a strong mindset when you can't date at the moment. Some of us can't work. We can't go to the gym. Um, it is tough, but everyone's in the same position. All we can do is help each other and just get through it. So at least nobody's on their own. It's not like it's just happening to you. It's like pretty much everyone around the world has at the moment that they've had like, I mean, like it's almost like 80% of my life. 80% of my life is has been taken away. It's a strange feeling. It's actually it hurts. You just got to be strong and you know just try and find something happy in the day. That's what I do. I try and find what I always do at least one or two things that I enjoy doing each day. How long does it take to get confident with women? You really can't give you a specific answer. It depends. It depends on. I mean, if you got help, if you had a coach who was experienced, then it would be a lot quicker. And also how much practice that you do as well. But off the top of my head, I think it took me about 2 years or about 18 months. But I mean, it could be quicker for some of you because that was me. That was a long time ago. And, the world, we're living in a different world now. There's a lot of information out. So it really does depend. It could be quicker. Everyone's different, Chris. So some people get the hang of it quicker than others. But it doesn't matter how long it takes as long as you learn it and you do it. I mean, obviously you're going to want it to be quick, right? But what I'm saying is, whether it takes you 6 weeks or 6 months. In my experience, Shane, it's better to get their phone number, but it can work with you giving your number. So I'm not going to rule that out. Again, like I said earlier, some guys have got these fixed beliefs about women and about what works and what don't. And a lot of the times they're wrong, haven't tried new things. So I've given my number before to a girl, and I was honest and I said to her, look, you're probably not going to call me. So there's no point me giving you my number. She's like, why did you say that? I was like, well, usually, isn't it for the guy to ask the girl for the number? She's like, no, give me your number. And if I want to call you, I will. And she actually did call me. She did text me, and I was so surprised. But then it happened again. So what I'm saying is, Shane, you can give your number to a girl. It's not wrong. It can work. But in my experience, I think it's better that you get her number, or you just both get each other's numbers. I mean, what everyone done in the last several years is, and you guys probably see me do it in my old videos and stuff, and which is honest, is ask for the number and call the phone number. So that's how you both get each other's number. If I ask for your number, Shane, and you give it to me and I put it in my phone, and then I call your number in front of you to make sure that it works, then you've got my number. So it's actually better that you. Does that make sense? That she has your number, you have her number, so you're not wasting time. But worst case scenario, some girls, for whatever reason, they don't want to give their number out, and you have to respect that. But they will say, "Let me take your number." And some girls like calling the man, texting the man. So, like I said earlier on, guys, can't generalize every single woman. You can't say every woman's like that, because they're not. People are different. It's like saying every single guy's the same. This is how he is, and it doesn't change. No, it's not like that. Well, that's a great idea, Chris. I mean, that's really old school, and I like that. That can work. If you can name a place, and then the girl can meet you there. What's my thoughts on McGregor Pacquiao? I don't really like that fight, George. I'll watch it. Don't get me wrong, and it would be entertaining, but I'll probably only be excited to see it because, I'm in lockdown at the moment. There's not that much. Well, there are things to do, but there's not as many things. I don't really like the idea of a mixed martial artist fighting a boxer. I don't think it's fair. It's not really fair on McGregor. I mean, Pacquiao is one of the best fighters who ever lived. And yeah, McGregor's going to get hurt. He's going to get knocked out. I mean, you never know, but if Manny Pacquiao comes in like anything like Manny, he's going to destroy McGregor. McGregor's not he's a mixed martial artist. There's a difference, He can box. He is a great fighter, but Mayweather beat him, and Pacquiao is a lot more aggressive and spiteful than Mayweather. I mean, they're both as good, different. To answer your question, Mohammed, it depends, man. Everyone's got their own philosophy. So, for me personally, I like paying for the date. If I ask a woman out, that's how I was brought up. But I also come from the values that you shouldn't. I don't think you should pay for every day. I wouldn't pay for every single day. I think a woman should also pay for one of the dates. So maybe you pay for the first date. You pay for the first date and the second date, and then she can pay for the third date, and then she can pay for the fourth. So it should be 50-50. Oh, that's great. We're getting a lot of people on the stream today. Hit that like button, guys, and make sure you subscribe. If you want to get a lot of dating help and experience, then subscribe to the channel. I'm going to give you a lot of advice. Have you seen Pax calves? He learned. Yeah, I've seen his past. I mean, George. He's my favorite fighter of all time. I love Manny. I've watched every one of his fights. Yeah, absolutely. Really like Manny as a fighter. I think he's just awesome. I love watching his fights. I think he's brilliant. Connor should fight some boxers his age. That's interesting. I don't think it particularly matters about age when it comes to Manny at the moment. Obviously, he can't keep doing it, but he's he's not, he's not your average 41-year-old or 42. He's exceptionally fit. He's in great shape. I just think mixed martial artists shouldn't fight boxers. They should, and boxers shouldn't fight MMA fighters. It's not really fair, is it? But it's all about money at the end of the day. I'm not sure about that, Lesbos, to be honest. I can't give you an example as to whether I believe in fate or not. Part of me, there's something in me when you say that wants to say, there's like a yes and no. So I'm a bit split on that. Kay Daniel, do you think the effects of lockdown and COVID-19 will impact dating in the future? Well, it already has affected dating. K Daniel. It already has. It's affected all of us in a quite a traumatic way. But honestly, I think dating will be much better when we come out of lockdown, because people are lonely, men are lonely, women are lonely, they miss each other. Unless you're already in a relationship. If you've been married, or you've got a girlfriend, or you live with your partner, then obviously that doesn't apply to you. But for single people at the moment, for single men and women who want to start dating again, it's going to be better again. I think people are going to be kinder. Um, for me, that's just common sense. But I see your question. If I did understand it right, James Toney shouldn't have fought Randy Couture. I mean, it's his choice, right? James Toney is a brilliant fighter. Actually, that's an understatement. James Toney is a Hall of Famer. He's underrated, but I don't know why. I suppose this is his choice, but you know, you can't judge it because he's got so much balls to go and do that. So if you want to do it, great. It's just my opinion, but I don't really like the idea of a boxer going in the cage because he's a boxer. He's not an MMA fighter. It's like you know, you're a carpenter and you're trying to be a plumber. If you want to be a plumber, that's fine. Then learn to become a plumber, but you're not going to be a plumber straight away. So um, well, we've got some boxing fans here, which is great. I think James Toney's better than Mayweather in his prime. Ray Mercer scored a big KO in the cage. I didn't know that. Well, I got to check that out. That's exciting to know that. Yeah, the trade. But look, at the end of the day, man, it's not what I say, innit? It's just my opinion. If they want to do that, they're going to do that. Like, they're going to make loads of money doing it. So that's another important thing that sometimes we get. I forget. But yeah, they're the main bits of advice there about getting out of your head. It's just learning, it's a steps, it's a process, it's practice. The more you do it, the easier you get. That's awesome. That's awesome. Symes Alexander says, I'm determined to change my life in 2021. I am the one. Yeah, I know. Good for you. That's it. And I'm sure you will. Owen says, for me, I'm struggling to find a good social space online, an alternative to Facebook. When I say social, it's not the same as in real life, 100%, which is why I quite like these live streams that we do, because for me, this is much better than going on Facebook. When I go on Facebook, I can't really get this type of, it's not the same, it's just a different platform. I don't really enjoy it. I don't spend too much time on it. I much prefer, the YouTube live streams. I kind of find um, an audience of people that I can connect with. Where Facebook is very hit and miss, and I find on Facebook there's a lot of negative stuff, and I just don't want to get into all that. And it's almost become like a news channel. It's too negative. Uh, I've seen clips, I've seen highlights of the Riddick Bowe Holyfield fights. They're very good fights. Well, I mean, that's another scenario. If you get on well with a girl, but you lack similar interests, I guess that's the question of, do you want it to work? Because sometimes that doesn't work long term, but sometimes it can work. If you like someone and you get on with them, it can still work. I see your question though. It can still work because you may have different hobbies and interests, but you still like each other. So there's nothing wrong with that. But that comes down, I guess, to you making the choice as to whether you want to keep spending time with that person or you want to go your separate ways. But yeah, hopefully, they've been talking about March that this lockdown are going to start. coming out of it, but I don't know 100%. If any of you know more than I do, let me know in the box below. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, George. I'd recommend that. I'd recommend doing the chat room. It's a shame that I couldn't get you guys on a chat room here, but they don't do this option on YouTube at the moment. I think they do it on Instagram. Because otherwise I'd get you guys to come on so I could speak to you. So you could speak on the video as well as me. Should just face the fear, George. I mean, I was scared to do these videos when I first started, and I got over it by doing it, So you should just jump in and do it, George. What's the worst that will happen? Everyone's scared before they do something new. Everyone's got fear before they do new things, but the more you do it, you can do it, George. Marvin Hagler versus James Toney at middleweight. That'd be such a good fight. That's such a hard fight to call. I'm not sure about that one. I'm gonna say that'll be a 50-50 fight. James Toney's definitely more skillful than Marvin Hagler. That's not to say Marvin Hagler's not skillful, but James Toney is a lot more slick. But Marvin Hagler is so tough, and he brings such pressure. I could see Hagler winning that fight, but I could also see Toney winning that. So I'm gonna go 50-50. That's gonna be that they're on the same level in different ways. They're both, these are both elite fighters. Yeah, we'll never know though. We'll never see it. Well, that's one way of looking at it, Lesbos, and there's a lot of truth in that. There's different ways of looking at things, but yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. You've either got a connection with a girl or you haven't. Um, that's another way of looking at it, and it's not wrong. I wish kickboxing was a sport, only kicks, knees, no punches. Then we could have fun and fight against boxers. And yes, it's not really taken off, has it? Like the kickboxing has always been more like it's gone on. I remember it being really fashionable in the 80s when Van Damme was, and I might be wrong by the way. I don't want to offend any kickboxers, but it's not as big as boxing and MMA. It's not as they've not really commercialized it, and I don't know why. Maybe it's harder to sell it. I don't know why, because back in the day there was a huge market for kickboxing when I grew up because of the Bruce Lee films, because of John Claude Van Damme, because of Dolph Lundgren, Chuck Norris. Oh, let me just put the battery in. It's going to run out. Yeah. Yeah, MMA's really taken over, isn't it? Like obviously you've got people that do kickboxing and MMA, but there's not really like there used to be a thing on I used to watch. It used to be when I used to watch it, I remember, I can't remember the channel. It used to be like Thai kickboxing, and I'd watch it and it was really good. And then it just kind of faded out. It was on a certain channel. I can't remember it. I used to watch it. But yeah, great fight. Usyk versus uh Wilder. I'm edging Wilder in that fight, but I don't know. I don't know if I don't think if he. I don't think Usyk could take Wilder's power. I don't think any of the heavyweights can. But then again, Usyk's not easy to hit, so he could beat Wilder. But I don't know. It depends on what Wilder's going to show up. But that would be a brilliant fight. I mean, to be honest, right? It's my feelings. Obviously, I don't like the excuses Wilder makes and all the accusations of Fury. I just think that's ridiculous. But I do like him as a fighter. I do want him to come back. He is exciting for boxing. I do love watching his fights because you're always wondering, always wondering he could knock them out, and he's exciting, man. Whatever people say, you can't deny that. If you don't like him, or um, and I don't dislike him, I just because I didn't like the way he was acting. Obviously, I'm a Fury fan, but I like Wilder as well. I like his style. I like that he's like a skilled street fighter who gets in and he just goes for it, and he's tough, and so yeah, he's still a good name. He's a big name. People will pay to watch because of the excitement, the knockout power. I just wanted to check, is everyone subscribed to the channel here? Well, you've just answered your own question. Trying to pronounce your name is a bit difficult. Sorry there, August. Bernard fan. Sorry, your name's difficult to pronounce. That's the answer. Of course, a lot of us. Of course, we have issues of embarrassment. That's part of having fears and self-esteem issues. But it's the same solution. It's overcoming. You've got to face your fears. So embarrassment is really a fear of what people think about you or being embarrassed about yourself, certain aspects. So to overcome that, you've got to conquer it. You've got to face it, and that usually requires facing fear in real life on practical terms. But yeah, it's not an easy thing to deal with, but you can get over it. All these things you can overcome, right? What we're talking about today, but you have to put effort in. They're not just going to go away by themselves, and they're not going to go away easy. You've got to work on them. It takes time. You don't just, even in some kind of therapy or any personal development, you don't just change something in an hour or in a day. You have to spend some time on it, and then it starts to improve. But I can give you my advice. I had a lot of embarrassment issues growing up, and the way I got over it was by doing what I'm doing now. Doing talks, teaching, going to the gym, facing my fears. Every fear I had, I just faced it. All the different fears that every man has. Selling, going to job interviews, doing public speaking, meeting new people, going on first dates, making YouTube videos, doing live streams, going on car shows. Anywhere where I could face that fear of embarrassment, I would face it. I would put myself in situations that were uncomfortable, nerve-wracking, embarrassing, until it started to go away. The feeling of this uncomfortable feeling of being arrested, so it's the confidence started to come. So it's a process. You can do it if you want, but it's a good question. Yeah, these are all the things that you've got to do. Like fears of approaching women in different situations, like souse or sitting down. But the best mindset I can give you with embarrassment or shame or anxiety or fear is you've got to be the one that's going to attack your fear instead of waiting for it and being afraid of it and scared of it and wishing it would go away when it ain't going to go away like that. In my experience, you've got to be the one to go, do you know what? I've had enough now. I'm tired of being scared about what people think about me. I'm tired of having these fears and being ashamed of them. I'm going to attack them. I'm going to go after them. I don't need to wait for them to come no more. I know where they are. I'm going to make a video about this. You just reminded me. Well done for your comment, Augustus. I'm going to face them, right? I'm going to put myself in a situation where I'm going to confront these fears. And then that's when the confidence comes. I've been saying it for years. The way you build confidence is by confronting fear. It's a science. It's simple, but it takes balls. It takes courage. But it's nothing that you guys haven't got. We've all got it. We can all do it. We've all got it in us. It's all about digging deep within yourself and pushing yourself into the fear. How to approach a woman who has a lot of relationship experience. I always actually found that better, if I'm being honest, Shane. I know that sounds a bit strange, but I always felt a little bit more like, well, if I approach a woman who's got more experience than me, then she's going to have something to teach me. Um, it's a higher level and there's more rewards. I can grow, so I like the idea of that. Stallone has only really been in two good films, Rocky and First Blood. Your thoughts? I never thought of that. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like I wouldn't really agree and disagree. It depends. I see where you're coming from, but I quite like the film he done, Copland. Is it Copland, where he's a cop in it and they're all corrupt? I like that. I think he's done some other good films, but yeah, I don't think loads of his films have been great. I think, yeah, his best films arguably are Rocky. Yeah, Rocky's the best. They're the best, and Rambo. So yeah, I could see that. That's the thing with some of the top actors. We usually love their films for a certain role, but then they try and do a lot of different films. And just because we love them in Rocky and we love him in Rambo, it doesn't mean we're going to like him in another film. So it does depend. What's your thoughts on dating a single mum? Well, my thoughts is it depends, isn't it? If you like her, then that's all that really matters. It doesn't really matter what other people think. But it depends. It's hard for me to answer that. If you're asking for myself, then it depends on the woman. It depends on how I feel about her. So it's hard for me to give a concrete answer because that depends on the situation. Yeah, Demolition Man was yeah, that was a popular film. Cliffhanger. Yeah, I've seen Cliffhanger. Yeah, of course I've seen that film. Yeah, I've seen that film. I had it on DVD hundreds of times. Dragon with Jason Scott Lee. It's on Netflix. It's a good film, very good. I think he I think he actually did a pretty good job. That's not an easy thing to play Bruce Lee. Well, that's good news, man. It's good to hear that. What's up, Tim? Oh, so the theater's just opened up in the US, Illinois. That's great. That's one of the best news I've heard today because we're all patiently waiting for some progress on this lockdown. We all want to come out. But yeah, guys, we'll just continue for a bit more. But I've given you all the information today. Didn't want to overwhelm you. If you've got any more questions on dating, then put them down on my channel or email me or write them on one of the videos, and I'll look at the question. And if I can, I'll answer it. And I'll start making more videos. But I do like having these conversations, talking about other things. I will let you guys know as well when I am returned back to teaching and I start offering coaching again. I will let everyone know. But at the moment, it's I'm still waiting for lockdown to finish, and there's a few things that I've got to do to get back to doing coaching and stuff like that. But for now, at least you can enjoy these free live streams where I give a lot of information. Yeah, Tango and Cash was obviously that was a bit cheesy, but I did like it growing up. I don't know if I'd enjoy that as much now, but that was Sylvester Stallone. Kurt Russell doesn't get much of a mention, but he did some great films growing up. How many of you remember Kurt Russell? Wasn't he in that great classic film, Big Trouble in Little China? I'm sure you guys have seen that. I'm sure Lesbos has watched that. Tombstone. I felt the same way you did, Kay Daniel, right? I wouldn't say hate. Well, probably that. I don't like using that word, but you're being honest. Yeah, I haven't done online dating, so I feel the same way about it as you. But I do think it's okay for people to do it. I'm not going to knock it just because I don't do it. it doesn't mean that everyone else should copy me and not do it. So it's a choice. I can't really give you much tips on it, Daniel, because I'm not an expert on online dating because I never needed to use it. I always got a girlfriend from, meeting them in real life through, on the street or in a coffee shop or in public. For the last 10 years or so, I've never needed it. I've always had the confidence to approach a woman and get a girlfriend out of it. But because of being in lockdown now, obviously, I'm single and I can't approach where the rules at the moment. But I'm not going to do online dating. It doesn't feel right for me. So I'm just going to wait until the lockdown ends. For Crow, rapid fire. Yes, Escape from LA. We've got some film fans here. I'm guessing a lot of you were born in the 80s. How many of you was born in the 80s? Let me know in the box below. I'm not excluding anyone who isn't, but Kung Fu Mission. 85. Okay. I'm 83. I'll put my 83 down there. I knew that you guys were 80s just by the films you were recommending. Shane's 89. You're a younger man, but you're just on the cuff. You made it, 80s. Yeah, Beetlejuice was good. That's Michael Keaton, right? Okay, Lesbos is 81. Oh, you're okay. I'm not the oldest here. Usually, I'm kind of one of the oldest, but we're similar. You're 81. You're proper 80s, 81, 83. Never back down. What about you, Christopher? What's your time of birth? What's your date? Are you more 90s? I'm guessing. You're the 80s. Okay. You didn't give the exact date. That's all right. 80s. So what's going on at the moment in the States, right? Because I've got a few friends out there. Obviously, there's so many different states in America. Where are you with the lockdown? Is it as strict as it is in London? Oh, you're 82. Oh, okay, great. You're pretty much same as me. You were born a year before me. Yeah, what a great time, eh? The 80s was the films. It was just different time, man. Libra, different time. Times are so different now with this internet and social media. It's all changed. Yeah, different states, different regulations. That's what I've been hearing. So I've got friends in the States, but they're all in different places. I've got a friend from New York, Queens. I think he's from Queens. Got a friend from Florida. Got a friend from oh, where is it? Oh man, what's the name? I can't believe it. My mind's gone blank. It'll come. Cincinnati, and I've got friends from all around. So yeah, similar to you, Shane. To be honest, my age preference really, I would prefer probably a woman who's 30. Could go below that, but it would have to be someone I get along with. So probably ideally, 28 upwards, 28 to 40. New York and Cali is rough. It feels like we're getting close though, doesn't it? It feels like that this thing's going to end. Good to see you, man. It's good to see. It's always good to see the regulars on the stream. It's great. I've got it's just like seeing people I know, but I really do like seeing new people that maybe you do watch my streams and videos, but you don't always comment. So it's nice that you've made yourself visible. Um, Astronomical one. I learned that women aren't the end and the be and end all. I quit going out for 4 nights a week I use time to study and make good grades. That's a great decision. You've done the right thing there. I always say, obviously, there are other things in life. There's a time for everything. But some guys might feel that, their focus might not be on women. I've had that in my life. I had a period where that's why I didn't make the YouTube videos anymore, and I wasn't really. I stopped the dating coaching. I had enough of it. I wasn't interested in it. There was other things in my life, like my family. I got interested in other areas of self-help, gym. So I had a rest from it, which is fine. So it's good. You've made the right decision, astronomical one. It depends on where you're at and what is important in life. My videos on talking to on the street. What did you do starting it then, or was it natural at some point? Well, look, when you first do something, it's never natural, is it? It always feels uncomfortable and awkward, but it gets natural the more you do it. So it was just a process for me. The same way of doing the live streams. The first time I done the live streams, um, it wasn't that natural because it was new, but I just kept doing it, and then now it just feels normal. I've got used to it. I can just, in some way, I don't want to get so used to talking on live streams, and then it's going to feel probably a little bit unnatural meeting more people in person for a little bit because I've been in this lockdown for so long. But it's just wherever you practice, you kind of master, you get used to, and whatever you avoid and you don't do, then it's not going to be natural for you. Top Schwarzenegger films: number one, Predator. Amazing. I watched it like the other night at Lesbos, and I couldn't believe I've seen that film so many times, right? But seeing it again, if any of you haven't seen that film, right, you've got to watch Predator One. It's an absolute classic. It's brilliant, man. Total Recall. You got good taste in films, man. I didn't personally like Total Recall. I don't know why. I have to try and watch it. I absolutely love Twins. Twins is effing amazing, man. That's one of the best comedies I've seen in for years. Twins, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. That is just, I just love that film, man. The Running Man and the Terminator. Wow, you've got Terminator last. I'm surprised then. But yeah, Twins is awesome. Yeah, it's hard at the start, Christopher, but it's easier once you do it. It's the same, man. It's the same. I mean, like talking to women and getting over the fear. Yeah, at the start it's difficult. I'm not gonna lie, but it's difficult. Like anything's difficult. Like first, doing boxing's really scary. Talking to girls and doing boxing sparring was both really frightening for me, and I didn't feel good at both of them. But after I did them for 6 months, I started to enjoy it, and it started to get easier. The confidence comes. So enjoyment's a big part of getting confident, enjoying it. But yeah, it's natural. It's human. Like I'm like that. When we always kind of want to understand. That's how we are as humans. We always want to learn. How do we get over something? How do we start something that's difficult, that we're not good at, that doesn't feel normal? But it's something that we hold it in high esteem in society. Like getting confident with girls. It seems to be very high up on a man's um, things to be good at or competent at. The worst thing that people do is, everyone does it at a certain extent, and I do it as well, of course, is we tell ourselves that we can't do things and we're not good at things, but we don't try. We just go, no, I can't do that. That's too difficult. That's too scary. That person is special. I'm not as good as them. But the reality is, 99% of the time, that's a load of BS. If you did it, you'd get good at it. I would say the infield one with Hassan inspired me years ago. A lot of people like that video with Hassan. Yeah, Hassan was a really great guy, and I think that was just very genuine what we did. It was just genuine. There was nothing. that was just real. What you saw was real, and Hassan was genuine. I think people like that, and people really took to his honesty, his vulnerability, and he's a charming guy as well, and he did well. So that was great. Great times, really good times. I don't know the psychology behind it, but I worry that if I meet someone nice, I'll sabotage it. That's fear, that's human nature. Again, that's another thing to overcome. Everyone's got that to a certain extent as well. Um, so that's another thing to overcome. Do you know what, Lesbos? I can't sit here and say that I like Marlon Brando because I didn't watch his films growing up. I didn't see, and I know he's one to be. I know he's brilliant. So I can't say no, I don't like him because I don't dislike him because I don't really know him. I know the name. He's a famous actor. Obviously, he's been in The Godfathers, but I didn't really grow up like watching his films like I did Schwarzenegger and Van Damme and Sylvester Stallone. So it wouldn't really be honest if I say, yeah, I love Marlon Brando. I don't. I suppose I need to watch his films, and I didn't really. Gareth Lindsay, good to see you. Another regular. Appreciate you, my friend. Hi, I'm back to square one. As there was a girl I was seeing for over a year now. Seeing someone else, we're still friends, but at the same time, I miss chilling with her, having a hard time as everywhere's dead. I totally understand how you feel. Totally understand. I've gone through the same thing myself. It's not easy. It really is. It does get you down. It does hurt. It is hard. I think sometimes it's worse when you've had someone and you love them or you get on with them and you date them and then all of a sudden they're not in your life anymore and it's like it's painful and then you think I miss that person. I miss the times that we had and it could have gone to something more serious, but it's hard. But I've got to, you just got to move on in life and you'll meet someone else. I think he's a great actor. I think Tom Hardy is really good at. He's brilliant. I liked him in he was brilliant Bane in Batman and other films. Yeah, he's really talented. Yeah, you're not wrong, Shane. Smiling does go a long way. That was a really good film growing up, True Lies. I think I played the game. I think I was addicted. There was a game. Yeah, there was a game. Do any of you remember that? There was a video game called True Lies, and I was addicted to that game. And I can't remember what console it was on. Was it Mega? No, not Mega Drive. Was it PlayStation One? Was it Super Nintendo? I can't remember which one it was. I can't answer that question. I can't tell you who my favorite Doctor Who is because, man, some of my memory's gone. It's weird. I've got a good memory. There's certain parts of my life that I just can't remember. That's too much time in lockdown, but can't really answer that. My favorite film is that awkward moment with Zac Efron. Don't recall that. Yes, I mean it's not nice, isn't it, that we have to wear masks? I've never liked the idea of having to cover your face. It was Super Nintendo because True Lies. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. I knew it was a long time ago, man, because I've actually got memories of playing that in a guy's house, right? Him and his brother. Um, I kind of met them through someone else, and I always have a memory of them. You have certain memories when you're childhood, and they just stay. And I remember getting addicted to that game, and then going home, and I think he borrowed it. I bought it after actually. Good to see you, Dean. I don't know if I've spoken to you before. True Crime, Streets of LA. What film's that, Dean? Remind me. Oh man, don't get me started, man. You guys are getting me nostalgic. Streets of Rage. It makes me want to cry, man. I love that game. I used to play that with my cousin growing up. It was that is really going back, man. That is, do you know what? It's actually good to get nostalgic and talk about these times because it takes us out of the, the suffering that we're going through at the moment with this lockdown. Do you think our 30s should be the peak decade for men? No, not necessarily. I don't believe in that. I think a man, I think a man can be in his peak at any age. I think when he's 40, he can be in the best shape of his life, 50. And I really do agree. I don't agree on, oh, once you're like, you're old, you're 30. No, like it's all about how you take care of yourself. You know what's interesting? That's the great thing that I worked with so many clients over the years. And when I was first teaching, I was in my, early, I was late 20s, right? 29, 30. And a lot of the clients that I was coaching were in their 40s, right? So they were 10 years older than me. And they were so cool to spend time with. Like I got on with them so much. They were so like mature and young as well. So that gave me the understanding that, wow, I want to be like that. Like my client's in his 40s, I can connect with him, and I'm 30. So it's not some of these things are just not true, what people say. I agree, man. When I'm coming to 40, I'm not far off it. So 40s are the new 30s. So it's young, man. 40 is still very young. I think a lot of men hit their prime from 40 to 50, especially in business. If any of you want to be successful entrepreneurs, most of the best work comes 40s, 50s, 60s, it's so there's a whole, I'll have to make a video on that. Absolutely love that film, Shane. I absolutely love that film, Cyborg. So underrated, Van Damme. That film's awesome, and I miss those days as well. VHS. There was nothing like the feeling of getting home and having Cyborg on VHS and putting that in and sitting back on the settee and watching that. It was a different energy. It was a different energy to just jumping on Netflix now. Even though I appreciate Netflix, it weren't the same, man. The energy was just different, and you can only understand how that feels if you was around that time, like all of you guys were in that generation. But yeah, I've got a lot to say on the 40s age because it's still young. It's weird because 40, obviously you're not 20 no more. You're not young, yeah. So you've got experience now. You've got a lot of life experience. You've gone past that stage of being a little kid and like you're a man, but at the same time you're 40. There's still a little boy inside. So you're in a great place. I personally think guys in their 40s can do better with women in many ways than a guy in their 20s, right? And that's not knocking any of you in your 20s. Of course, you can do well in your 20s and 40s, but a 40-year-old man has got wisdom and experience that a 25-year-old hasn't got. You can't fake that. So now, I'm not even 40 yet, but I feel more older than my age, right? I'm 37. I'm not far. I'll be 38 this year. So, yeah, I like it. You still got your Blockbuster card. Wow. Wow. Awesome. You'll be 40 in 22. Yeah, I'm not far off it. It's mad though, isn't it? Like when you get older, in some way you don't feel any different. Like I don't feel that different now at 37 than when I was 28, 25. But on another side, a part of me has changed. I am a lot more mature. I'm more of an adult. But it's so weird. It's hard to explain. It's a bit of both. You've gotten older, but there's an aspect of you that's still young, and that's a good thing. I think that's the secret to being happy, and is still having that young boy in you. But obviously, you have to act like an adult when it's appropriate. Yeah, yeah, 38. 83 too, I may ask, where did you have the name Berba from? Well, there's nothing interesting about it. It was just really a bit of fun. There's nothing really significant. Bit of an inside joke with friends at the time. And funny enough, or stupidly enough, I nicknamed myself the name and then I tried to change my mind. And my friend said, no, you said it now, Johnny Berber. So um, yeah, it doesn't even really make sense. I can't even like give you some significance and go, well, Berber is because of my great great parent. No, it was just a nickname And I just put the two together. I just said the name Johnny Berba, and it stuck. And here we are. But at least Johnny's short for my real name anyway, because but Berba's not my real name, obviously. It's more I wouldn't at the time. I didn't think a stage name, but it was just a nickname. When you're younger, you have these nicknames, but it kind of flows, doesn't it? Johnny Berba. It's got quite a. It has a. There's not. It's not a negative. It's quite a positive kind of little bit of humor in it. So it just. I don't know, man. It just works. It's a strange one. It's a bit wacky. No, I never went through that astrological one. Only, do you know what? Twice, yeah, twice, the police stopped me. I was teaching at the time, and they asked me what I was doing, and I was honest, and they were very nice to me. So I didn't get arrested. I didn't get in trouble because I wasn't breaking the law. The reason why the police stopped me at the time when I was teaching, actually, they stopped my client at the time because he was older than me, right? He was in his 50s, and they were just wondering why is he going up and saying hello to different women. And when we explained what we were doing, they started joking and laughing at me, and they were very nice to me. And one of the police officers said he needs to come on your boot camp because he can't speak to women. So I never had a problem with it because I was always being respectful. I wasn't doing anything wrong. Um, and there was another time I got stopped on my own. So I've only been stopped twice in over 10 years. And same again, the police officer said, "What are you doing?" And I was honest. I said, "Oh, officer, I'm trying to get a date. I'm just going and saying hello to a girl on the street." I said, "Am I doing anything wrong? Because I don't want to, I'm not." And he said, "No, you're not breaking the law." And I said, "Can I go now?" And then he said, "Yeah, yeah, you can go. No problem. You're not doing it." I just had to make sure what was going on because he was walking down undercover, and he probably was seeing other guys doing it, talking to women. So he was just trying to make sure everything was all right. And I didn't mind because if someone's going to be polite to me, I'm going to be polite back. And I think that's the thing. A lot of people think the police are rude, but a lot of the times, if you're polite to the police and they'll be polite with you, they'll be all right. And then, anyway, I'm not going to mention any names. I wouldn't do that to previous clients, but I've coached a couple of police officers. I think two or one, two actually. I think two, who were police officers, and they took my 6 weeks program. This is back when I was teaching several years ago. So it wasn't a problem. No, I don't think so, John Jones. I don't think there is an age where you should stop approaching women. I don't think that's really a contributing factor. I don't think there's a certain age because for me that would be like saying, is there an age where you should stop talking to people, strangers? So no, I don't. It depends, because I saw something that I loved, right? There's a boxing trainer, I think I spoke about this, called Don Charles. Any of you know boxing? Some of you won't know who that is, right? Don Charles trained Derek Chisora. I like Don Charles. And John Charles was in an interview one day about boxing, and for some reason, his fiance, his wife, his girlfriend was in the video, and he said, "I don't usually bring her in videos," but the interviewer said, "How did you meet? Because you're both in love, right?" And I Don Charles is obviously in his 50s. He might even be 60 now, right? I don't know exactly, but he's in his 50s. And Don Charles said, "You know how I met this beautiful lady?" I like the way he was talking about his wife. He said, "I approached her on the street. He saw her on the street, and he walked up to her and actually said to her, I think he said to her, 'I can help you to quit smoking.'" And she said, "How could you do that?" And he said, "I run a gym," which he runs a gym. So he approached her, and then they fell in love. And so to answer your question, John, it's not about age for me. I don't think it's like, "Oh, you're 50 now, so you shouldn't approach them on the street." I don't see it like that. I really don't. So that inspired me because when I saw that Don did that, I was like, wow, I'm not the only one who has been successful and who has formed a long-term relationship from approaching a woman in the street. even though we do live in a society that doesn't all agree on that thinks that that's something strange or it's weird. It's weird, our culture that we live in, because our culture thinks it's normal to do online dating, right? And look, I'm not saying it's not normal, but they say online dating is normal, but then they say if you go up to a woman on the street and you speak to her, or if a woman goes up to a man on the street, that's not normal. But why is online dating normal, but going up to a woman on the street's not normal? It's both dating, they're different platforms. I think in the street is even more, it's more, it's more respectable, it's more admirable. But obviously, I think our culture thinks, well, a stranger is dangerous, right? Well, anyone can be dangerous, you know. Obviously, not everyone is a killer, not everyone is bad. A lot of us are good. We wouldn't harm anyone, right? We've got good intentions. You could go online dating. There could be bad people online dating. People can lie. They can put a fake profile, right? But I guess it might come down to business. Maybe it's about money in this world for some people, not for me. So you know, people are going to have their different ideas on it. But the generation that I grew up in, they never thought it was weird for a man to approach a woman on the street as long as he was respectful. And Don was saying that, you know, Don, like me, is from the old school. He's obviously older than me, but the old school is being respectful towards women, you know, having good manners and being a man and being a gentleman. And if he didn't go up and speak to that woman, that wouldn't be his wife now. And she didn't have a problem with it. So at the end of the day, you know, everyone's going to have their opinion, but there's a lot of women that don't mind it. And that's my take on it. But I respect your opinion. If someone said to me, look, I'm not comfortable approaching someone on the street, I would respect that. I'm not going to be angry at them or say that they're wrong. No, I respect their opinion. If they don't want to do that and they don't feel comfortable doing that, then that's fine. But it doesn't mean someone should force their views on me. I wouldn't like it if someone tried to force me to do online dating when it doesn't feel right for me. So I went on a bit of a tangent there, but yeah, it is a crazy world. um, no, I didn't really feel inspired to read that book. I know a lot about the philosophy by the guy who wrote it. A lot of my clients read it. Some of the things that are good in it. No, I didn't feel the need to read it because I lived that in my life, in real life. I found my purpose in life. I did those things, but again, it's all choice. That's the thing about life. Everyone, like, it, it's a difficult world, but you just think, why can't everyone respect each other? Why can't people respect one another and respect that not everyone, you know, agrees on the same things just because someone, you know, you're going to get some people think it's weird that you know, to go up to someone, not even on the street, even anywhere. Some people think it's weird. They just think that if you ask a woman out in the coffee shop, then you're a weirdo. But then the same person who says that and has those judgments, they do online dating and they think that's normal. And that might be normal, but someone like me, I don't judge you if you do online dating. I don't. Look, I say to people, if you ask me, shall I do online dating? What do I always say? It's your choice. It's not my choice. So do what feels right for you. But if you want to know my opinion, I don't think online dating is great. I don't think it's the best place to meet someone, right? But I'm not telling you shouldn't do it. It's your choice. So why can't it be respect both ways? But we don't live in a society like that. We live in a culture where certain opinions are so strong that it almost feels that if you don't agree with them, then you get judged or outcasted. So it's almost like our culture wants everybody to think in the same way when it doesn't really make sense. At the end of the day, everyone's a stranger until you get to know them. You know, it's a bit like people saying, "Well, it's weird to do a live stream." You know, you're talking to people that you don't know, but a lot of you, I've gotten to know. Some of you, I've met you in person. We've met in person. Some of you we haven't met in person, but we get to know over this. So I don't know. Everyone, I don't know, man. I just don't know why everyone just can't get on and just respect one another and just try and just I don't know, man, just be nice, just live a decent life. I don't know what that is, Shane. I don't know what that is. ASMR. You got to explain that. Have you watched Dean Man's Shoes, Johnny? Great Rich film. No, I haven't seen it. Oh no, I've seen it. It's a classic. I've seen it. What, Paddy Considine, A Dead Man's Shoes? Is that it? I think I watched that with my dad. It's a great film. It's sad. That's quite kind of dark a bit, but if that's the right one, it's Paddy Cons. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's sad. Yeah, his brother is. I won't give it away because some of you might want to watch it, but it's great acting in it when he says, "I like Paddy Considine. He seems very genuine." He struggled a lot, with like social anxiety. I remember in an interview he said he finds it difficult to make eye contact with people. He's a little bit has some anxiety, some autism and stuff, and I think he's an inspiration because he's still gone out and lived a great life and made films. He's a great actor. Wicked. I like him. That's an awesome film. Yeah. Oh, okay. No, I didn't know anything about it, Shane. I've never heard of that before. Thanks for sharing that with me. Maybe I'll have a look at it if I feel curious. I guess there's always, well, not always, it could change, but there's at the moment there's going to always be a stigma of approaching someone in public that you don't know. It's just the way our culture is. It has a stigma. I don't really understand it fully, but at the end of the day, man, everyone's different. If you go to another country and you approach someone, they might, I don't know, man. And many people like it. It's a question of divided opinions. There's lots of people who are open-minded in the world, and if you were genuine with them and respectful, and you approached them, they wouldn't think it was weird. They would talk to you. And there's some people who don't like it, so it depends, on it. Do you think aspiring to be like Fight Club's Tyler Durden is toxic? Yeah, I do. I have to be honest. I know his message seems quite powerful, but I do think in that film he come from quite a dark place. So there is a difference between thinking outside the box and you know being an individual. But I didn't. He was agreeing with he was encouraging people to do terrorist acts in that film, and he went a bit too far. So I certainly wouldn't live my life like that. I think that's going too far. It's a movie, but I can see a lot of people would be inspired. But yeah, nah, I'm not for that. That's a bit too extreme. I admire the Danish, Hygge. Apparently, it's why they're one of the happiest nations. That's a really good point, man. Hi, Johnny. Do you go to the gym more weights? All my life on and off, but I'm not gonna. Well, not in the last few months, but yeah, I've trained more than I haven't in my life. But yeah, but I'm a bit out of shape at the moment because the gym's being closed, and I don't have weights at home. I was doing a lot of push-ups, and then my elbow got damaged. But yeah, I can't wait to get back in the gym, man. You look like you work out from your picture. I'm sure you do. I love it working out. I love training. This has been an awesome conversation today. I can't believe the time, guys. We've been going for 2 hours. It's just the time's flies. This has been great today. Well, it's good, isn't it? At least we passed 2 hours today. Um, so you can have a bit of fun, and that's why I've enjoyed it. The time's flown. It basically means social contentment. That's great. Explain that. Elaborate on that. I can read between the lines. Are you saying that the Danes are a lot more open-minded in their culture? They're probably a bit more relaxed about talking to strangers, and they're just a bit more open. Is that where you were going? Yeah, there's good in every culture. I've had quite a few clients that have been from Denmark and that side of Europe, and they have been warm people. I have found it easy. I've found them easy to connect with. Yeah, probably gonna finish up now, guys. It's I didn't realize the time. I'll get ready to probably watch a film and then call it a night. But it's been great. I usually plan to do an hour and a half max, and we've done the two. I think the record is 3 hours once, but um, I just kind of go with the flow of the live stream, and this one's been great. Oh, well done, George, man. That's great. That's a big deal what you did. You spoke to a neighbor for 20 minutes. Just hello. What's up, Hans, Peter? Yeah, you just come on. We've been going for 2 hours today. We did a lot today. I spent the first 45 minutes talking about how to speak to women with honesty, how to get out of your head, and then we've just had a big, really, really good deep conversation about life, films, movies, different ways of thinking. It's been awesome, man. I agree, Henry. I agree. I mean, until you get to know someone, you're strangers. So we've got to bridge that gap. If you don't speak to people, then how are you going to make friends and get to know them? Same way, the way I grew up. I grew up in a neighborhood, and I made a lot of friends because people approached me in the park when I was playing football, and then they became friends. I approached them. So I think we should get back to some of these old ways which can still work in our new world today, which is people need to learn how to speak to one another outside of the internet, in person, in public, or else how are we going to move forward? No Harrison Ford this time. Oh, I've always got room for Harrison Ford. He's a good actor. Contentment is total balance. Perfection is unattainable. 100%. It's impossible. None of us are perfect. I do believe there's millions of more people in our world today who feel the way that we all do. Maybe they haven't got the courage to come out and speak publicly that, that they want to be more social. They want to get away from the internet and meet people in real life and connect with people and make friends and, have these sort of conversations, get to know people, go beyond the surface of no, our surface-based lives of just saying hello, thank you. We're breaking records today, man. We're breaking records because we've all been talking. This is really good training, actually. This is really the way that you get good at talking to people and women is by it's the hours that you put in. It really is, and I guarantee. I know that some of you. Yeah, I'm going to be going live tomorrow as well. Definitely, Saturday's the main day. I'll be going live, hands. I'll let everyone know on the channel. At 8 o'clock, we'll be going live at 8 p.m. It'll be 8 p.m. UK time. But the reason why I went live today is because we're in lockdown, and to be honest, I've got a lot of time on my hands, and I don't like to waste time. So I'd rather do more live streams and help people and talk to you guys and have this support and fun rather than just sitting at home being depressed, being bored. And obviously, I've got other things that I do. You guys are welcome, Shane. You're very welcome. And you know what, guys? When we come out of lockdown, and you don't have to. I will start making my fearless event again, and you guys can come to that, and we can meet in person. We can do this in person. The fearless events they're amazing. If you enjoy these, you'll enjoy the fearless events even more. If you can face your fears as well, then you can meet in person. For a group of us, a group of 10, 17 people, and all talking and connecting in the park or coffee shop, whatever. Wow, what a big support! And also as well, I've got a good idea about new videos to do. I learn a lot when I speak to people and getting to know all of you. It's great, man. It's a great effort. Everyone's helping each other. It's so positive what we build on this live stream. It's very therapeutic. You're welcome, Lesbos. You're welcome, Hans. You're welcome, John, as always. John Jones. It's a team effort, man. I couldn't do this without you guys. It works both ways, so it's much appreciated. You're welcome, Henry. It's a pleasure, man. I'm glad that I can help you in any way. But yeah, you guys don't know how much I appreciate this. But please do subscribe to the channel. I am really ambitious about making the channel bigger. I really want to grow the platform, and yeah, get more subscribers. Find the formula. Thanks, mate. I really appreciate it. I've got to say, man, this is the more I do these live streams, the more I'm enjoying them. They're getting better, and you guys are getting better as well. You're a lot more open, you're more confident, you're more honest, you're sharing a lot of ideas, and this is how you improve. You got to all the things that we're doing. Yeah, but I'm sure soon YouTube are going to change the technology. They will make it that you can come on a video call, so you can be on video as well, and I can speak to you, because I know they do that on Instagram. All right, guys, man, it is tempting to continue, but I think it's at that point now. I'm out of gas. I've got to recharge. So I'll see you tomorrow, guys. I'll be on tomorrow, and we will do a Saturday live stream. You know what? That's really weird, Lesbos, because quite a few people have said to me that they don't get notifications, and I don't know why that's happening. It's really frustrating because I don't want people missing videos or streams. And if you're subscribed, you should get notification. Maybe you've got to hit the bell. If you hit the bell, maybe there's a glitch. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Chris. See all of you tomorrow. And then we'll just continue tomorrow and see where we go. But yeah, awesome today. Yeah, 8 p.m. tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow. I'm trying to do every Saturday 8 p.m. And then whenever I feel spontaneous, like today, I just yeah, hit the button, hit the bell. Make sure as well when this video is uploaded, if you guys can, right, leave your thoughts on how this helped you or what the experience is like. It might encourage more people to come on. If it helps you to be more social, or if you found it helpful that you were able to help other people, because a lot of you helping each other and helping me as well. So when the stream goes live tomorrow, I think it takes, leave a comment below about the experience, all right? Okay, yeah, and let us know how you're getting on, all right? Awesome. Become fearless, and I'll see you guys tomorrow evening.